Plus Wrestling Podcast. Watch global. Support local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The move.
Might not be an A, but you are a B plus.
Check it out. Here we go. You wanna mess with us? 'Cause we're steady on the ground, steady on the ground.
All right, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to another B Plus podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Saturday. You know what that means. It's time for the NXT edition of The View from the WWE Universe, which can only mean one thing. I am joined, of course, by my brother-in-arms, the most underrated big man in B Plus history. Big boy, how you doing, bro?
Underrated big man in podcast history. No, good, buddy. How you going?
Most underrated big man in podcast history. I don't know if you can make that statement.
Underrated.
Does Gabriel Iglesias have a podcast? I bet he does. I bet it's called like the Fluffy Cast or something.
Everyone has a podcast.
Everyone has a podcast. I mean, who the fuck am I? And yet here we are. We have a podcast.
Yeah, like even like one of my favorite TV shows, like on Channel 10. Shout out to Gogglebox. Two people from Gogglebox even have their own podcast now, and it's actually really fun. But I'm like, everyone has their own podcast. Like,
wait, okay, so Gogglebox is one of your favorite shows. This is the show where you watch people watch TV, correct?
yeah, fuck, I love watching the human race do stupid things.
And you listen to a podcast about watching people watch TV.
No, they don't talk about anything related to that show. It's more it's the two young guys that are on the show, and they have their own podcast. It's two Melbourne lads just talking shit.
Right.
But it's
Interesting.
I have weird podcasts and YouTube things. I watch live train videos, and like I love watching like live videos of like live cities, like live shots of like downtown Vegas, like downtown Manhattan or something like that. People just walking past. I love that shit. I'm a weirdo.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever... I watched the one that what's his name? Shia LaBeouf did with the flag, where it's the live stream and people would come up and they would troll him. I watched that because that was fun because people were trolling him. But yeah, I can't say I've ever been interested in just like watching a live stream of like a city. Yeah. That's interesting.
I was walking to Times Square last week hoping that, one of the wrestlers would walk past. I was like, maybe.
Oh, surely you would have seen a couple.
Yeah, there was nothing. Like, every time that I jump on, it ends up being like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., but yeah, they still probably would have been around. But yeah, I'm a freaking weirdo, people. That's me.
Fair enough. And how are you feeling after such a big week of wrestling? Are you all wrestled out yet?
Nah, I thought I was, but I keep watching more and more. Like, still trying to catch up from everything from the weekend that I've missed.
Yeah.
Like, still haven't got around to watching Bloodsport as of yet. I really want to.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's actually what I watched today while I was prepping for the I was prepping my notes for the Aussie Graps podcast that I record tonight after we finish here, and it comes out tomorrow, which is yesterday. Time travel for the people listening at this. The Aussie Graps show that I did with Rose came out yesterday for the people that are listening to this. So yeah, but while I was prepping my notes, I was watching Bloodsport, and holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
The Takeda John Gresham match, like Aiden recommended it on the call-in show, and I doubled that recommendation. That Takeda versus Gresham match was incredible. Killer Cross working the Bloodsport style as well really impressed me. I love the Bloodsport shows, man. I wish they did them more than once a year.
Yeah, well, because I was catching up on the Mania weekend stuff, and I'm just so far behind because I've even got 3 episodes of CMLL that I watched a week, and there's a AAA show on this week, and I was just like trying to catch up with everything, and then I finally got around to watching the MLW stuff. So now I got a High Spots Network account finally. Haven't had one for a while, just for the month, just to get some of the smaller shows from the weekend. Like, I want to watch the show that Robbie, Brooksy, and Suicide teamed up with. I want to watch that, and
right, the family reunion one? Or no, that family reunion one was the PWA showcase match.
Yes.
There were so many shows.
No. There's like some memorial show. What was the name? Oh, God, it's killing me. Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show had Osprey and Bandito on it, and I signed up just to watch that. It's only like $9.95 or something US. So, but that's the one that Dragon Lee and Cavanario was on. That was like match of the week.
Yeah.
And then the WrestleCon US versus the World is on that, and so is a Penis Party. So I want to get caught up with that.
Right, and that's the one. That's the one with Team Shazza versus Team Jordan Grace.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. And the WrestleCon US, WrestleCon. I keep feeling I was saying Con. WrestleCon, the US versus the World, is the one that Robbie, Brooksy, and Suicide teamed up against. Team.
Yeah, there's so much to watch.
So
much to watch. So I've done the spring break shows. I'm looking at Orange Cassidy next, and I've done Bloodsport. So I'm looking at Orange Cassidy next. I got to get to Blackcraft still because I've heard that Blackcraft was an absolute clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I haven't watched and not the good kind of clusterfuck that Joey Janela's spring break with the actual clusterfuck was. But then as well they've got what was the other one that I wanted to get to? I still haven't watched the Stardom show. I still haven't watched the DDT stuff. Like, there's so much.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And we should say that, like, talking about all these events, like on an NXT cast, people might be like, this makes no sense about the NXT cast. But to be fair, nearly 95% of the people that we would have been watching across any of these Fight or high spots networks or anything like that will probably end up in NXT in the next like 3 years. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Some of the names from this weekend that made big names for themselves will probably end up in NXT.
Absolutely.
There was one, I can't remember her name, but Aiden said that his standout for the weekend was a woman who was on a couple of the shows he watched, and she really stood out to him. She worked an intergender match against. Oh, I can't remember who it was. See, this is the thing: is there's been so much information this weekend. But she ended up on SmackDown as one of those Brooklyn Bells.
Right.
That took on the Iconics. And so, like, to see her, who she was Aiden's breakout star of the weekend, to see her go on to NXT is completely feasible. Like, it's possible that it's possible that it's even in the works already. And, someone like, we're talking about the Bloodsport show. It was Josh Barnett's Bloodsport this year, but last year it was Matt Riddle's Bloodsport, right? And Matt Riddle was the man of the weekend last weekend. He had like 20 matches last year.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania weekend, and this year he only had one. It was probably a nice vacation for him.
Yeah, and who was my breakout star that I fell in love with from MLW? Alexander Hammerstone. Hammerstone.
Oh, Hammerstone, right.
The guy that's in the stable with MJF. Oh, fuck, he's amazing. I was like...
Yeah, he's a PCW Ultra guy. I've seen a couple of things from him. He had a match against Pentagon, a match against... I think there's a match against Brian Cage of his that's floating around on like YouTube for like a free match Friday or something like that, or a match up Monday, one of those things where they upload free shit. And he's really good. But a lot of these guys will end up in NXT for sure.
Or the alternate these days will potentially AEW. I mean, MJF about 18 months ago was a nobody. He goes out and has the weekends like this at Mania weekend last year. And stands out. Now he's an all elite guy, and so anyway,
so it's important to talk about these things, especially when NXT itself is going to be mostly recapping the show that we already talked about on our big WrestleMania recap show, which you can go back and listen to. But let's head over to the UK. NXT UK happened as well this week. Travis Banks and Cassius Ohno starting the show. Ohno targeting Banks's shoulder. Typical. Ohno's such a good heel. He's such a, like, not just a heel, but like that specific calculating heel that just tears a person apart methodically, both mentally and physically. That Cassius Ohno lives that role,
and it's so interesting. There's a few guys in the industry right across the board that for years and years you just think they're such baby faces all the time, and then when they do their heel work, they are 10 times better heels, but you don't think of it at the time. But then when they become heels, you're like, oh, I never kind of like Daniel Bryan. Like Daniel Bryan is one of the best faces ever. He does his heel stuff. You're like, I never want to see him go back. Ohno is one of those guys. He's one of those baby faces from like the best in the world from back in the Ring of Honor days. You always wanted him to be that that fun Cassius Ohno, but heel Ohno is so much better. Oh, I love this character of his. This match was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a really good match. It was better than I thought it would be, even because I thought that maybe they'd hold back, like they would because they're going to have more in the series, you would assume. But it was a really good match, and I think there is more that they can do, and I think they are going to do more as well.
It was interesting to see Banks win a match without the Kiwi Crusher. He actually had to do some like weird pinning combination to get him down. I like that.
Yeah. Well, that's it. The closing stretch was looking for these package attempts almost, and got him with a fold over pin, and he picked up the win.
I like that.
Yeah. And then we move on. We get some Jordan Devlin talk saying that Pete Dunne's a loser, but he's a winner, and it's time for the Irish Ace to get his shot at Volta. I kind of agree. Not that Pete Dunne's a loser. Obviously, Pete Dunne's not a loser, but I don't like the automatic rematch challenge kind of thing. So I think that
and we all know what Devlin and Walton can do. I'm all for seeing that on an NXT level. Might not be as vicious as an OTT level, but yes, give me Devlin and Malta. I would actually like to see Devlin Dunne first, and then Devlin Malta. Or a triple threat of all three, that'd be fantastic as well. But yeah, Devlin's definitely next in line for that title, I guess. He had that fantastic series with Banks. And now, I guess Devlin is the right man to go up. Does this also kind of spoil the idea that maybe Dunne is staying in NXT UK for a bit? I kind of thought he was going to be part of next week's shuffle. But I don't know. Do you think NXT UK loses too much by letting Dunne go up? Like, is Dunne too much of a star to lose?
No. I think that with how long he's held that title, I think having him around and not holding that title is bad for him. I think he definitely needs to move on. I think that's the right move. He's done all that he can do.
Yeah. Would you like to see all three British Strong Style go up together?
No, because I think that both Trent Seven and Tyler Bate have more that they can do, and I think that those two need to break up and have a feud of some sort in NXT UK. I don't think that's something we save for the main roster. I think that's something we do.
That'd be good. I want to heel Bate in that. But anyway, continue on.
No, I definitely think that if they do a turn, it should be Trent Seven that's heel, not Tyler Bate. I think Tyler Bate is a natural babyface. Yeah,
but then again, he's one of those guys, I guess, like I was talking about with Ono. You don't realize he's a amazing babyface, but then when they turn heel, they can even get to another level. But speaking of babyface and heel, Piper Niven. Loving Piper Niven. It's going to take a while for me to keep saying Piper Niven because I'm just so used to saying Viper. But
Viper,
I guess you can't have a Viper when Randy Orton's in the business. So Piper Niven is. But
gimmick infringement.
Exactly. But no, it's
So was this wasn't her debut match, was it?
Yes.
It was. Okay, so her debut match, and it was against Killer Kelly. I love Killer Kelly. I like Killer Kelly a lot. But this was good. Obviously, Killer Kelly's going to get in a few good spots, but Piper Niven picks up the easy win. Classic NXT style, opening match.
Yeah, I liked it. And then you got the little bit at the end with Ripley running down and teasing a little thing, but Niven caught her in the back of her eye and scared her away. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Ripley Niven. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, so Rhea with it was like a fake out almost, like playing mind games. This match, I don't know how many weeks it's going to take for this to come up, but I'm so excited to see this. It's going to be good. Yeah, I think it's going to be good to see how Rhea can do her power game against someone as large as Piper.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be the story of that match, and it's going to be interesting. Hopefully they save it for the next UK takeover.
Yeah. Have they announced any? I know we've got a standalone NXT takeover coming up. I think it's May or June, a standalone one. So I know they'll put an NXT UK match on that just to keep going, or do they announce their own takeover again? Because it's hard because you can't really do one NXT takeover every 6 months or 12 months. You kind of got to at least 3 months to really end a feud or end a.
Well, when was the last one? The last one was January, right? So You would
Yeah.
think they should be due.
I mean, like I said, other than they just put a NXT UK showcase match on each takeover, so like next one maybe a women's title match, NXT UK tag title match on one show, just to like each show until then get a more serious look. Because I think what Walter and Dunn did for the NXT UK title on the NXT Takeover show was phenomenal. I think they put a lot of eyes on the NXT UK that people maybe weren't beforehand. Because NXT UK is still a little bit hardcore in terms of the casual fans. Like NXT has taken about 3 or 4 years to become a quote unquote casual product. NXT UK, it's still technically a little bit more like it's not really a casual product in that terms, but hopefully they do a Piper.
Yeah, like it hasn't become a fourth pillar sort of thing. It's still
I'd say 205 still got maybe more of a pillar than NXT UK at the moment, but regardless, no. From time to time, it goes through its periods. There'll be a couple of months where it's the hottest product in the WWE brand, and then they'll go for months without much excitement at all. We're supposed to be covering 205. Did CJ Palm? Okay.
No, he covered it. CJ covered it. He's just being a dick. But moving on, we get a Moustache Mountain promo. I guess they're going to face Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews in New York. Cool, I guess. Then the Grizzled Young Vets, and they're going to go to New York, and they're going to make a non-title challenge to the UK roster. And that was a weird accent that I just tried to do. I don't know what it was. Liverpool's number one. He is the best guy in WWE on the mic.
One, yeah, absolutely. I love Gibson on the mic.
I mean, who else in WWE, like in all of WWE, is better? Like, there's probably a handful of people. He's got to be up there in the top 10 for sure, if not
easily
top
10. Yeah, for sure. I mean, just trying to think off the top of my head, like the Miz is probably maybe number 1 on the mic.
You got to think, like, I would put Bray Wyatt up there, but he hasn't done shit lately for like the last 2 years. So.
No, absolutely. Jeez, who else is a
Daniel Bryan? Obviously, is incredible.
Yeah. I know he's not really a full-time wrestler, but Shane McMahon is a brilliant heel when it comes to his promos.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if it's not the same. Like, he can't stand there with an interviewer and deliver the same thing. Like, if he's in the ring and doing a bit, like doing a whole bit where, like a Miz TV bit or something like that, where he's the focus, then yeah, I can get behind that. But no, I think that Zach Gibson is a cut above almost anyone, really, to be honest, when it comes to cutting that classic wrestling promo, whether it's in the ring or, with an interviewer or whatever. He's one of the best there is working today.
Yeah, and also, and the other guy is Velveteen. Velveteen is one of the best promo guys as well.
Yeah,
in a different way. Velveteen is just
a very different way. Yeah. Well, see, he and Matt Riddle fall into that just undeniably charismatic role that you can put Andrade in, that you can put Rusev in as well. Rusev isn't necessarily one of the best on the mic. Like, a lot of his acting is super cheesy, but he just oozes that charisma that Eddie Guerrero had. Yeah. I put Velveteen Dream and Matt Riddle, and I put them in that Eddie Guerrero category of just ridiculously charismatic individuals, where it's the way they move, the way they carry themselves.
Yeah,
it draws you in. But just in terms of pure mic skill, I feel like that's completely different.
Yeah. No, I think the Miz and Zach Gibson are maybe 1 and 2 at the moment. I don't think anyone touches Miz with a mic.
Yeah, no, I actually thinking in terms of pure mic skill, I think you might be right.
Yeah,
I think you might be right. The Miz, and then maybe Ciampa too when he does his heel shtick. But I don't know. It's tight.
He's better with 280 characters. Ciampa and Becky are the two best.
Kevin Owens.
Well, actually,
his Twitter game is on.
Kevin Owens is all around because he's very good on the mic himself. Actually, he's
good at pure mic stuff as well. So is Sami Zayn, to be honest with you. Sami Zayn's bit at the moment.
Oh god,
I love Sami Zayn's bit at the moment. Did you see the bit with Sami and Kevin Owens after SmackDown went off?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
I love it.
Anyway, we should probably continue talking about NXT. This is what happens on a week like this
Yeah.
week. There's just been so much to
It all
cover.
ties. It all ties in. Everyone wants NXT. It's okay.
So Joseph, everyone comes through NXT at some point. So this is all relevant. We're talking about NXT alumni. We're talking about future NXT.
Yep.
Joseph Connors, Jack Stars. Jack Stars impressed me.
Yeah, this is
He brings that style that I like.
yeah. He's no pun. Well, actually, no pun intended. He seems like he's got a bit of a star quality about him. Joseph Connors. What do you feel about Joseph Connors?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I've been watching him for a few years. He was one of those original WCPW guys when they first opened. He was one of the younger guys from the Newcastle Scottish scene that they brought in, and I really liked him back then. But at the moment, I'm like, I don't know what I kind of was like. Cheer, I knew he wasn't going to win, but I was small going like, oh, I like Jack Stars more than Joseph Connors in this. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. There's something about Joseph Connors that I'm just missing with at the moment. I used to love him. I don't know what it is. Something turns me up about him at the moment.
He does nothing for me. He's one of those guys, and I feel like a lot of the original NXT UK class, they do nothing for me. They just aren't developed character-wise.
But there's a few more that are going to be through. Like Jack Star seems good. I know he's in the NXT UK PC, whatever that's called now. Yeah,
is he? Because he stood out to me more here than Joseph.
He's in there with like Primate and not that Primate needs much work because he's a bit of a vet. He should be able to pick up. And Luke Menzies, I think it is. They're all in the NXT, and I think Ilya Dragunov is finally at the NXT UK PC. So, but yeah, Jack Stars is one of them.
Yes, he is.
So hopefully we see more of him and he becomes something because he's got something there. I like him.
Yeah, same. And then we get the main event: Toni Storm versus Ginny. Are you a Ginny fan yet? Do you like Ginny yet? Has she
Well, the
changed
thing
your
is, it was never about her wrestling. I respect and I was a fan of her in-ring abilities. Just I'm not a big fan of her promo. So this didn't really change my mind in terms of that. But this is a fantastic match. Ginny is a great wrestler. I never doubted that. 100%. She's phenomenal. But fuck Toni Storm. You want to talk about star, man? This is a girl that, in my opinion, should be the next. Well, she already is a stan. You know, one of those type of girls. She could headline a WrestleMania herself. In my opinion, she's Becky. She's. I'm going to get hate for this. Toni Storm is better than Becky. In terms of the, she's got it. She, I think, is a better wrestler than Becky. No offense to Becky, she's a good wrestler. I think Toni Storm's a better wrestler, and I think Toni Storm could actually have that fandom to take her right to the top. I can watch Toni Storm all day. She is phenomenal.
Yeah, see, I think if you put Becky Lynch in the same companies that Toni Storm's been tearing it up in, like, you know, WXW, Progress, all of these places, I think if you put Becky Lynch in matches with those companies, she too can produce just as much in terms of match quality.
Yeah.
Right? I think that, you know, we forget that working WWE and working the independents is very different.
Yeah, that is true, but I don't know. There's just like...
Yes, I think that, that, you know, Becky would be capable of putting on the same sort of match quality in terms of whether she's a better wrestler or not. But in terms of having it factor, I think Becky has a beat, to be honest with you. Like, I love Toni Storm, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if she'll connect with people the same way
maybe
Becky has. I may be wrong.
Maybe it's just that Aussie thing that I pick up a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah. I can definitely see her being a big star, but obviously Toni Storm wins this one. It was a pretty good match, and but Ginny's still not clicking for you. In terms of promo,
in ring, it all clicks. She's a fantastic talent in ring, no doubt. But yeah, I don't know, still missing a little something from me in terms of promos. But I was more focused on the positives about my Toni Storm.
Fair enough. But that does it for the NXT UK. Let's jump over.
That sounded creepy.
To
my Toni Storm.
Yes, she is not yours. She is her own woman. Let's jump over to NXT proper in Florida. Well, not Florida this time. It's in New York, because this is the matches that were shot before NXT TakeOver New York.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B Plus podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Graps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/theb+ and subscribe today. Hey everyone, just want to take a second to tell you about one of our new sponsors, OUTBREAK NUTRITION. OUTBREAK NUTRITION are creating supplements for survival, sharper minds, quicker reflexes, all the energy you need to take your performance to the next level, whether that be on the field, in the gym, on the gaming field. That's right, they have specifically designed gaming supplements as well to help you focus on those late night sessions. They even sell coffee, you guys, at OUTBREAK NUTRITION. You can get coffee pods, you can get coffee beans, you can get supplements for the bedroom as well if you want to enhance your performance there. These are performance enhancing supplements for every aspect of your life, specifically designed by gamers, for gamers, to stay fit and healthy in the gym, to stay sharp and focused on the game, and to dominate in all areas of life. So check out OutbreakNutrition.com, and for being a listener of our podcast, they will give you 10% off your order when you enter the code B+. That is BPLUS at checkout. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to take your performance to the next level, OutbreakNutrition.com, enter the code B+ at checkout. They have a new opening theme song. For NXT.
Yeah. Like it.
I don't know if I do. Yeah, I don't know. It's a song, right? And then they've got like the opening video has them all like standing there, like jumping up and down, yelling, and it just looks weird to me. I don't know. I often don't like when they change the theme song. I often don't like it at first.
Well, I guess it just like I used to be Slipknot obsessed. Probably not so much these days as much as I used to be. So to have, two of my loves in Slipknot and NXT coming together in something, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like when they had the Bring Me to Horizon song as the theme song. I'm like, Time Bomb, was it? I can't think of the name of the song. But, I love this. I kind of popped when I saw the clip for the first time. I'm like, that's kind of really well done. And that's the time when I said to you, I was like, remember, I don't know, I think it was last week or the week before, I asked you, I was like, shit, that came out, and Johnny Gargano is front and center in that promo. And I was like, I think that kind of shows, I think Gargano's staying down in NXT for maybe like another year, maybe 6 months, another year, because I think he's officially the face of NXT now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you've heard his interviews, right? Like, he's saying that he doesn't.
He's like, no, this is a third brand.
He doesn't like being asked. Yeah, when he's going up, because he's happy where he is.
So, and then speaking of Johnny Gargano, let's segue into the first match of the night. Mrs.
Candice LeRae, Mrs. Wrestling. She's not Mrs. She's Candice Wrestling.
No,
she's not Mrs.
True, 100%.
It pisses me off. No, because she's been booked that way in NXT as well. And I've ranted about this for years now at this point. Candice needs to break out. I hope she lets her contract expire and goes and becomes Joey Ryan's blonde friend in AEW, because I'd rather her be Joey Ryan's blonde friend than be Mrs. Johnny Gargano, right? Because she was the star of that tag team, the world's cutest tag team. Like, she was the star.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. It's a fair rant, and I've been silly calling her Mrs. Johnny Gargano, but Mrs. Johnny Wrestling, because to be fair, maybe he's even Mr. Candice LeRae Wrestling. So he they're both as amazing as each other, and this is a good start. I think this is. I mean, 2 weeks ago she did that little promo about her wanting to get into the women's division and finally make something for herself. So maybe this is finally something that a little step up for Candice LeRae, because I think Candice LeRae would be a perfect NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, they do this all the time though. They act like they're about to push her and they're going to give her some goddamn respect, and then they don't. And then she just goes back to being Johnny's wife, and it's frustrating.
I mean, she might even go up before he does, because she's already been in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and the Rumble. She could even get caught up before him, and then that's a kind of a good stance in that she can break away with him if she goes to the main roster and he stays down in NXT for a bit. But we'll see.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she does pick up the win. I really like the team of Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. We've talked about this a few times now. I think that they're great. I think Aaliyah's come a long way. Brooklyn, cheer for me. It was amazing. Like, that's not going to work, love. I enjoyed it, and it was a really good match. Candice LeRae has an amazing moveset. She's a fantastic wrestler. She needs more respect. End of story. Then we get some recaps, Riddle vs. Dream, and then we get a Dream promo about WrestleMania week. It's like one of those selfie promos. And Buddy Murphy walks past, and Dream starts throwing some shade.
Yeah, this kind of came out of nowhere for me. I was like, I liked it. But yeah, it came out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, this is not what I was expecting at all. But yeah, I like it. I look forward to any.
Yeah. So we found out later in the show, obviously, they're going to have a North American title match next week, Buddy Murphy versus Velveteen Dream, and that's amazing. Buddy Murphy, best kept secret, obviously. He steals the show all the time, and so does Dream. So these two having a match together is going to be...
I think actually maybe even Buddy is a part of the Superstar Shake-Up next week. I think. Yeah.
So you think he gets called up?
Wait, is 205 up, or is it in the middle? You're traveling with a main brand, right?
No, it's up. I feel like if he got called to NXT at this point, that would be a call up for him, because they clearly now know what they've got in Buddy Murphy, and so he could go to NXT and he could feasibly become an NXT champion. Yeah, so I feel like going to NXT would be a call up to him because of how he would be used, as opposed to the Cruiserweight division. He's done
maybe like on SmackDown and that. Like, I don't know if he gets lost in the shuffle, but we'll see. Yeah,
that's the worry. Yeah,
but yeah.
Then we see Kushida. Signing his contract, says he's happy to be there. Pretty short stuff. Not Kushida. The segment was short. But we move on and we get Jackson Riker with the Forgotten Sons taking on Danny Burch, who of course has Oney Lorcan at ringside. Jackson Riker wins relatively quickly here, and it breaks down into a brawl with Lorcan and Burch beating the shit with Lorcan and Burch having the shit kicked out of them by the Forgotten Sons of Anarchy.
More Riker, please. Out of all three of them, please give me more Riker. Riker just has it in terms of those three. I'm not saying he's but it in terms of every other level, but in terms of the Forgotten Sons, he has it. Please give me more Riker.
Yeah, Jackson Riker is definitely the standout. But since the Dusty Classic, they've grown on me. They have grown on me throughout that Dusty Classic. I told you this last week, man.
Yeah,
they've grown on me. So I'm a little more open to Forgotten Sons.
I just realized, you said the Forgotten Sons of Anarchy. The lead character in the Sons of Anarchy, his name's Jax, and they named him Jackson Riker. So yeah, cool.
Jackson of Anarchy. I'm telling you, man. The conspiracy threads are lining up. I'll pull out my conspiracy hat, my bandana with the hair.
It's not a bandana.
And the threads.
It's not a bandana. It's tinfoil. We know.
We talked about this. We talked about this on the Mania recap. Remember, my conspiracy hat from now on is a Hulk Hogan bandana with the hair attached. Right? And so now I'm connecting the threads, brother. It's all connected, brother. Anyway, we don't have a lot to talk about with NXT, so this is what we're going to have to do to kill time. Shayna Baszler says it doesn't matter how many girls you put in front of her. She's walking out the champion. She is champion forever. Who do you think takes it from her at this point? It's got to be Belair, right? Belair has to have that comeback moment.
Yeah. I wish Rhea Ripley wasn't doing a thing in NXT UK because I'd see it. I'd love to see her take it from her. It has to be Belair because I'm all back certain that Kairi Sane is going up next week. All but I believe Kairi and Shirai are Paige's secret team. The team that she's bringing to the NXT to the main roster, I believe.
Is it the Sky Pirates or could it be Born?
Could be, but my head says Shirai. Shirai and Kairi Sane have had a lot of.
Well, yeah, because they're going to be faced, right? Because they're going to go against the
Kyrie and Shirai have had a lot of main roster showings, kind of like Candice in the last couple of months. Like those three specifically have had a lot of main roster playtime.
Here's a spanner for you. Here's a spanner in the works. The team she brings up are the new team of Candice LeRae and Casey Catanzaro.
There you go. That could be good.
How good of a team would they be?
Yeah.
And they can lose to the Iconics. They can come up and lose to the Iconics and then start to establish themselves as a team. Whereas if the Sky Pirates come up, they better be fucking winning. At which point the Iconics just got the title, and now this title becomes a joke because it's had a really quick reign for Sasha and Bayley, a really quick reign for the Iconics, and then the Sky Pirates are going to end up with it. I almost don't want it to be the Sky Pirates. Because they have to win or else. Yeah,
well, the next major pay-per-view on the main roster that will allow women to wrestle is not until May 20 for us. So that's a good 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So even if Iconics, I don't think Iconics would drop it on their first defense. You never know. Even if they will defend it there against someone like a Sky Pirates, and then Sky Pirates maybe pick it up at the show after Battleground or whatever. Usually it is. I don't expect Iconics to hold it for longer than 2 or 3 months anyway. They're a proper women's tag team, and I guarantee they'll be 2 or 3 time tag champs by the time they ever split up or whatever, if they ever. I imagine Kairi Sane going out, but that's distracted from the question that you really asked about Shayna. I don't know who it is that takes it off. It has to be Belair or maybe Candice, unless they've got someone else ready to start stepping up because Dakota's injured. Tegan Nox is ready to come back, but I don't know if she's NXT UK or NXT. I don't know. What do you think? Mia Yim? They could start.
Yeah, there's so much talent when you think about it, really. I would like to see them elevate Candice LeRae, obviously, if she's not getting the call up. But
the only problem is there is a lot of women on the cards that are amazing, but have they showcased them enough to be at the NXT women's title limit? Thing already, like, I know it doesn't take a lot to showcase someone in NXT, but do you reckon there's anyone that could just click their fingers and be ready for an NXT women's title shot?
I would honestly like to see. I want to see more movement, and I think there are some people on WWE who should come back to NXT for a while, right? Like Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze should come back to NXT, man. I miss Tyler Breeze, and I miss the real Tyler Breeze. You know who would do well in NXT now because she has shown that she has some work ethic. She has shown that she can improve and improve and improve, and I think that it would be great to see her come back to NXT and have a run. Dana Brooke.
Yeah,
I would really like to see Dana Brooke back on the yellow brand.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, or even.
But of the girls they have, I think Belair has to be the one to take the title from.
You think so? Yeah.
Because they've been telling that story for a while now, and or Dakota Kai.
Yeah, but she's still like another.
She's out.
She's still another. When did she do her ACL? It was like 4 months ago now.
Yeah, so she's probably another 6 to 8 months away.
Tegan Nox is ready, and I know that they were planning on putting a little bit of a strap on her in that Mae Young Classic before she got injured.
Yeah. She was meant to make the final, right?
Yeah. she's one of my favorite women's wrestlers in the world. I love Tegan Knox. I think she's fantastic. So I hope. I think NXT UK women's, which is crazy because a couple of weeks ago we were saying that the NXT UK women's scene kind of feels a bit light. Now it kind of it's the opposite. They feel heavy now.
Yeah, with Kaylee Ray,
Piper,
Isla Dawn, Piper, Niven. Yeah.
So now it's NXT Florida that needs a little bit of love. So I'd like to see Knox. I would love to see Rhea Ripley come back, but I'd love to see Knox come to NXT Florida and do a thing too. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, like you still have the untapped talents as well of like Mia Yim, Zia Lee. Like I said, Casey Catanzaro. You can elevate Casey Catanzaro. I think she's ready to do more.
That's a very good option for the NXT. I know you just said that for the main roster part, but Casey Catanzaro as well is a really good option for the NXT women's side. She's been getting a lot of airplay. Well, I mean,
she's a good challenger to lose to Shayna Baszler. Yeah. I don't think she's the one to take it. But you need she's a great underdog to get destroyed for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think they have a lot of talent. Yeah. So but yeah, in terms of taking it, I think I got to go with Bianca Belair, but I don't know when. I don't think she gets a match back straight away. Yeah. I think it takes a while. Then we get, speaking of matches and getting rematches, Pete Dunne says he will get a rematch. All right, mate, no more automatic rematches. Boo! Even for Pete Dunne, who I love, he's, by the way, the 6th longest running champion in WWE history.
That's cool.
So we talk about he's the longest in the modern era. There are 5 people ahead of him of all time.
Wow.
So he's definitely the longest in the modern era, but of all time, you got Bruno Sammartino, obviously.
Yeah.
Pedro Morales.
Yeah, the IC title. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
I can't remember who the other 2 are, but like like you got some big names. Like he's the longest running. It's insane. But even for him, no automatic rematch. Earn it.
Wow.
Back to the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
But then we also get Undisputed Era, and they're having some tensions in the group. Adam Cole accusing Roddy, like, what the hell was that? What were you thinking? And then tells the cameraman to turn off the camera. What do you think's going on there? Are we going to get a turn here from someone?
Well, if it is going to be someone to be kicked out of it, Undisputed Era, I don't think so. I think it's kind of like one of those little tease ones where in the end everything will be fine, maybe. But if it's going to be anyone, it needs to be Roddy. I think you keep the main 3 together, always.
I disagree.
Really? I mean, because
I think
Kyle O'Reilly has the biggest babyface range out of all 4 of them. Kyle O'Reilly isn't.
I think if you're going to kick someone out, I think that the other 3 have a mutiny and overthrow Adam Cole, because under his leadership, what have they done?
Yeah, that's a good point. And make Kyle O'Reilly the leader, because he genuinely is the best out of those 4.
And the crowd already do the Adam Cole baby and all that stuff. So I think that he's if you're gonna have someone get ousted, he's the natural choice. He starts getting angry at them, like, what are you thinking, rah rah? And they're like, yo, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah.
Like, what, you think you call all the fucking shots? Like, we're not a group? Like, we're Adam Cole's fucking posse? Nah, dude. And they beat the shit out of him. Like, that's where I would take it.
And they move,
if you're gonna split them up at all, which I'd rather you not, because I like them.
And then move up and have Sammy lead them in the main roster. Yeah. Sami Zayn as an Undisputed Era leader would be fantastic right now.
I don't know. Maybe that feels weird to me. That just feels weird to me. But then, we get the obviously the announcement the North American Championship is going to happen next week. And then the main event, Street Profits versus European Union. Street Profits are boring still, not into them. I'm so on these guys. And I think it's mostly Angelo Dawkins that I'm not into. I feel like Montez Ford seems like he has something.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'm not...
No.
I tuned out. I forget. Did Street Profits win?
They did, and which is frustrating because Aichner and Barthel are 2 guys that do have it.
Yeah, they're a fantastic team as well. They work really well together.
The 2 teams that I like the Forgotten Sons, but in terms of the tag team rankings, Birch and Morgan and Aichner and Barthel have it. The Profits and Forgotten Sons don't. Please stop burying the other 2 teams. I do not want Aichner and Barthel to be the team that just loses to every other fucking tag team in NXT or NXT UK. They are better than that. Aichner is so impressive to me. I didn't know him like 6 months, a year ago. Like he wasn't one of those sort of indie darlings that I fell in love with before coming into NXT. He's one of those the PC guys that I sort of didn't really get. I love him. I don't know, it's just the Italian flag thing for me, but I love Ackner. I love him. And Barthel. I already knew how good Dieter Jr. was before he turned into Barthel, but yeah. Please stop making them lose to Street Profits.
Street Profits, I don't know why Street Profits aren't just a jobber team.
They should be. Street Profits and Forgotten Sons should just wrestle each other on pre-show NXT and just leave it at that.
Yeah. But that was NXT for the week. That's NXT. That's NXT UK. It's it's a light week because obviously they recap the takeover stuff and what have you. But it was still like NXT UK was pretty good this week.
Yeah, it was. I think next week is going to be interesting with the main roster call-ups because there was no real major call-ups this week. Obviously, they left that all to next week. So everyone's like, why was there no call-ups this week? I'm like, you're not going to do call-ups now and then do the Superstar Shake-Up next week. So next week, there'll be some NXT call-ups. So the NXT roster will get a shake-up. Main roster will get a shake-up. So next week will be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. There will be a lot more to talk about next week. And where can people find you, Big Boy, if they want to talk
At B+_Big Boy on Twitter. I can't be bothered to say Instagram anymore. I just don't use it enough. So just at B+_Big Boy on Twitter. I am there on Instagram, but just I'm nowhere near as good as like Danders or you on Instagram. I'm much more of a Twitter guy.
Well, apparently I'm not good on Instagram either, according to Danders, because just pictures of my kid watching wrestling and being awesome. But yeah, I am.
How do you top Danders on Instagram?
Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of Danders Instagram personally. Some of the memes are funny, I guess. I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling would have fit the B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. And thank you so much for listening.
Okay.
You know what I want. Give